Hello, it's Adas.
Hello, Audrius, and today we have a second episode of our product review in the transition. Continuing now to the notebook T series, and with T series things are starting to get a bit more complicated in the transition phase. If it is very easy with Intel models, so all T14, T16 or T14s models are transitioning to Meteor Lake, and all those three are the clean sheets or redesigned models. So with AMD it is a little bit more complicated. So the only clean sheet model that is transitioning to the new Hawk Point AMD processors is T14. The other two models, T14s and T16, at the moment are not transitioning, and we need to stay on previous generation products at the moment. So now, of course, we'll focus on the new devices, new design of devices, and what new features do we have. So we'll start from T14 and T16 devices. First thing, what the designers say, it is upgrading the color from Thunder Black to Eclipse Black. As I said, for men might be different to differentiate those two colors, but at least the feeling is, of course, that it looks much better. The next features that you might notice is the, how we call it, communication bar, which allows to have better cameras, of course, for our notebooks, but also it gives a better screen-to-body ratio, if you can see, with the much smaller frames around the screen. Another thing related with the screens, 14-inch is possible to have 3M technology, which allows to have a brighter screen with lower power consumption. Other features related, of course, with the sustainability and extraordinary goods iFixit scores is the customer replaceable unit spare parts. So the battery, the fans, the LTE modem, and some ports can be really easy accessible, and each user can change it now very easy. Other good thing is that now the RAM memory is dual slot, and both slots can be upgraded by yourself. No more soldered memories. This should allow your computer to work longer, so you will not need to maybe buy a new laptop for a while. Other technological upgrades is the possibility to have Wi-Fi 7 and 5G in these models as well. Also, as the products are redesigned, so there is some changes in the design of the body. So the rear fans technology has been applied to the T series as well, allowing products to ventilate better and stay cooler. On the T series, the T14s, of course, is a little bit different model, as it is a stylish, slim device. So it is a little bit different compared to the other T series, but it also redesigned, so new design model, which is getting a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. It has the same features of 3M technology screen, getting brighter with less power consumption, but the memories, the RAM memories in the T series, one is still remaining soldered and only one port is open for the RAM upgrades, but it can have memory up to 64 gigabytes still. The other good feature is that with the smaller size and with the smaller product, it is going to have a little bit bigger battery compared to previous generation, so allowing product to work more without charge. So looking technologically wise, all the T series have the capabilities to have Ultra 7 processors or Ryzen 7 processors, Capabilities of RAM is up to 64 gigabytes, SSD up to 2 terabytes, and of course all the key needed features like 5G, smart card reader, fingerprint, TPM chip, and all other technologies are of course in the T series are available.
ThinkPad T series. As in the lineup we have ThinkPad T14 and T14s. How to select the right one? Because on one hand it's like similar, on the other hand it's actually very different.
Yes, so actually the price are a little bit different, first thing, but of course there are some features that is differentiating each product. So first of all, T14s is, as it says, it is slimmer, lighter, and built with more premium materials. So the look-wise, it looks more attractive. Even though it is smaller and lighter, this device actually is having a little bit bigger battery, so will allow the product to work longer. But then looking on the other side, on the advantages of the T series, I can say that 2 open slots for RAM is something that some customers might value more. The full RJ45 port for wired internet connection is also a feature on T14. And the last one is the iFixit score. So the T14 customer replaceable parts are easy accessible on T14. T14s isn't that good for those. So, and as every user who has a notebook, a laptop needs to carry it somewhere, so we do want to recommend the professional 16-inch backpack with our T-series models. As it is professional backpack, and actually generation 2, I would say it's the best backpack I ever seen in Lenovo. One thing is that it has a lot of pockets, as you can see here in the front, even with RFID function, so your credit cards can be kept safe. Some compartment for the keys, very big inside compartment for various clothes. I would say even the shoes can fit in here comfortably. This backpack is made, of course, with recycled materials, which contains around 16 plastic bottles. Also, it has the backpack back compartment where you can store your laptop. And it's, I would say, quite universal thing, as it shows you can fit in here 16-inch and 14-inch in the same. So it's pretty universal. And the last feature that I also like very much, that it is very stable when you put it on the ground. It's not falling.
Let's go with quite similar device in terms of, let's say, how cool the device is compared to ThinkPad T series. So we have a quite niche device called ThinkPad X13 or ThinkPad X13 2-in-1. So as the name indicates, it's a device with 13-inch screen, and that's why I said it's a niche device, because like the most popular of course is 14-inch, and 13-inch is the one that fits heavy travelers, I would say, who needs a very small device to carry. So in my hands is X13. So this year X13 devices are called like refreshed. It's not completely redesigned. It shares the same chassis as it was last year. So one of the main features of this device is like this communication bar where we can fit 5-megapixel camera. So your visual experience, of course, will be really great with this one. From the performance side, even this refreshed model is redesigned in terms of how, let's say, cool the device stays now because of this rear fan solution. If I would have in my hands X13 2-in-1. So 2-in-1 device which can rotate the screen by 360 degrees.
I would add one comment that it was a previous Yoga. So now this year, Yoga is changing the naming and becoming 2-in-1.
Yes, all the devices are 2-in-1 now. And continuing with this pen thing, here on the table I have my X1 Yoga, which is like 3 years old now. So it has this garaged pen. So you are storing your pen inside the device. It's really good because you will definitely not drop it somewhere. But from the user experience, the pen is slightly too small. So there are pluses, there are minuses, but X13 still has this garaged pen. X13 series this year coming with latest Intel Meteor Lake processors. It can have up to 64 gigs of RAM, up to 2 terabytes of SSD storage, and the weight of the device is super low. It's just 1 kilogram and 170 grams. So of course the compromise is this 13-inch screen, but it's so low, and the heavy travelers love it.
I would say same weight as X1 Carbon, just a little bit smaller screen.
From the security perspective, as like it's a really premium device, so all the ThinkShield features are inside. The same as we were speaking like about the rest devices. This one also has ultrasonic human presence detection. So ultrasonic sensors identifies when the user is working with the device, so it will never lock the device. At the same time, when the user is leaving device, it will automatically lock to keep your device safe. At the same time, save the energy because nobody is using the device at the moment. So X13 is super mobile device, and super mobile users need some extra things coming with them. So this is actually my favorite now extra device that I use in my home office. So this is called Lenovo Go wired speakerphone. So it's a speakerphone to have a perfect sound, at the same time perfect microphone quality for any meeting you are having. So design-wise, it looks really great. So you can simply change the sound by rotating the header. At the same time, if you want to be muted, you simply press the button and you get muted. Unmute, unmuted. So it's really small, but really powerful, and I really recommend for anyone who is having many meetings.
I bet it can save a lot of, from looking where is that mute and mute button. So you will have clearly on your table.
Yes, and device comes as it is. So it plugs to any device by USB-C cable. At the same time has regular USB dongle if you need that. So this is a must device for any person who is having lots of Teams or other meetings.
So continuing with the X series and continuing with some special X series devices now. So X12 detachable and X1 fold. So beginning with X12 detachable, as it says, detachable, it means that the screen is detachable from the keyboard, and basically all the technologies, all the ports, all the things are built in the screen. This year we're having generation 2 product, maybe not too much changes in the design, but the upgrades are technology-wise. So it will be using Intel Meteor Lake processor, a little bit special processor, 9U, so it means like less watts, a little bit less powerful processor, but at the same time it is a fanless design, allowing to be built into really slim and light devices. So the device itself is a 12-inch size with 400 nits brightness. Also, it can have LTE or 4G capabilities, so really can be bought somewhere outside and work in the field. And also it can come with 5 megapixels or 8 megapixels cameras. Also a little bit upgrades in regard to availability. So now the customer replaceable unit is going to be the panel here. Worth to mention that keyboard that is attaching to the screen is of course ThinkPad class keyboard. So it has the track point and the physical buttons on the touchpad. Also, the pen is an optional feature which can be attached magnetically to the device, but it's not coming as a default. Another special device in X category, as mentioned, is X1 Fold. This device is definitely attracting attention from everyone. So basically, it is a massive screen tablet, which is 16-inch, and with a weight of only 1.3 kilograms, it can be folded and carried as a book. Together with the attachable keyboard, you can work with it as a laptop or work it as with a separate screen that is connecting to the keyboard via Bluetooth. Looking at technical specifications, they are really impressive. So you can have an OLED HDR screen with 400 nits brightness, i7 Intel processors, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, and of course all the needed connectivities as 4G, Wi-Fi, and etc.
What I can add for X1 Fold is that this device is really premium, and we understand that the users of this device want to configure the device according to his needs. So user or you need to configure the device and order it from the factory. We are not stocking like regular configurations because there is no regular configurations. All depends on the user. And we can add, as Audrey said, like very premium specs there in this device.
So those are really special devices that is basically not very meant to work in the office near the table, but rather to be traveling, work outside without any wires or connectivity. The wireless headsets can connect via Bluetooth to any device, and you can work wireless free in the office or the outside venue convenience. So don't forget the wireless headset to offer.
Going with the best we have, ThinkPad X1 series. And we continue with the same range what we used to have. So this is X1 Carbon, and here I have X1 2-in-1. And yes, like we previously said, it used to be named as X1 Yoga. Now all the Yogas are 2-in-1. So X1 series this year is completely redesigned. It's a clean sheet models with completely new chassis. One of the first thing that user will notice on X1 device that the power button now is on the side. So you are powering device from the side. Other thing is that the fingerprint button is now placed somewhere at the keyboard, actually at the bottom. So you identify yourself by the fingerprint by just pressing this one. It's not like a button that you can press, it's just a standard fingerprint reader that you can easily scan your finger. Control and FN buttons, like in all the clean sheet devices at the ThinkPads, are now swapped. So Lenovo is like running an initiative to standardize keyboards for all the products. This will definitely help the users with disabilities. So the control button now is at the corner and FN is moved slightly to the right. X1 devices are now coming with two type of trackpads. So you can have a haptic touchpad. So this one is the haptic one. So you actually not pressing it, but the feeling is that you actually press something. Or you can configure this device with the regular trackpad. X1 devices can come with a privacy guard, meaning that if somebody is looking on your screen from your sides, they will not see if you turn the feature on. Just to note that if you go with privacy guard, you go with non-touch screens by that. Also, in X1 devices, you can have two type of sensors for your security. So the most standard sensor is called computer vision. Again, it doesn't lock the device whenever you are using, and whenever the user is moving away, it locks the device. But the more premium sensor is called computer vision. So it automatically unlocks the device whenever the user is coming to the device. And if you want these ultrasonic sensors, which is really premium, you need to go with full HD camera, not 8 megapixel camera. So I was saying 8 megapixel, yes, X1 devices now can be equipped with 8 megapixel really premium cameras. And what's really important for these premium devices, now it has a new thermal solutions. It used to have earlier one fan, now the fans are split to two separate ones. And from the specs, we see that with these new thermal solutions, X1 devices can perform 44% better, still keeping the device cooler. So, as a summary for X1 devices, now I have in my hands X1 2-in-1, so this is the yoga device that you can rotate. So both X1 devices can have up to OLED screens. Both are coming with the latest Intel Meteor Lake processors, up to 64 gigs of RAM, up to 2 terabytes of storage, batteries up to 57 watts, so basically all workday with just a battery. And from the security perspectives, I basically touch these ultrasonic sensors or computer vision sensors. All the rest features, what ThinkShield covers, are inside. One note for X1 2-in-1, that it no longer has a garage pen. So X1 2-in-1 has magnetically attached pen that you can purchase separately or configure the device with the pen in the box. Premium devices like X1 series devices are usually being chosen by the C-level professionals. We understand that's the best Lenovo has, but at the same time, from the budget perspective, it's like the most expensive because it's so cool. But definitely the user is the one who travels a lot, and for those users, we recommend to go with professional sleeves. Here I have to show you 13 and 14-inch professional sleeves. What's good with those, that it fits perfectly the device and it's magnetically attached. So if you are placing, for example, your X1 2-in-1 inside, it magnetically attaches, so the device will definitely not drop. At the same time, you have a pocket for all your accessories to be placed, and it's really, really premium and made definitely from sustainable materials like vegan leather and recycled plastic.
So continuing to run through our product families, the next one is the Z series. On Z series, at the moment, we don't have any news. So we are continuing with the models that was introduced last year, and it is Generation 2. Generation 2, Z13 and Z16. As it says in the naming, it's 13-inch and 16-inch models. Both are AMD only models and are using the Phoenix processors at the moment. What is interesting to mention that on the 13-inch device, Z13, it is using the U-class processor, so a little bit less powerful, which consumes a little bit less energy. And on the Z16, we have a really special processor, which is the H-class, which is a little bit more powerful, uses a little bit more energy, but of course is capable to do much more complicated tasks. Actually, the same processor we are even using in the P-series workstations. And of course, it is capable of having 64 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabytes of SSDs, so really high-end configurations are possible. And with the devices that the users are working not at the office, traveling somewhere, spending the time in the meetings, we have an accessory that can help with that, will last your laptop working much longer. So it is a power bank, 20,000 milliamperes power bank, where with USB-C connectivity you can charge your laptop and can get the laptop work longer. The good thing is that is basically calculated that it is allowed into the aircraft without any restrictions. So very convenient to travel, and myself many times was checked, is it sufficient and can security allow it to carry? So it is really calculated to allow to bring into the airplane. As you might notice through our review of the notebooks, we were not going into deep discussions in comparison about generation numbers. Is it Gen 1? Is it Gen 7? Or even we have Gen 12 in our portfolio, so it's quite hard to remember and to recognize which is the latest generation. So we have prepared for you a cheat sheet, which you see now on the screen. Basically here you can see clearly which the devices are introduced this year, 2024, and which generations was introduced last year. So you can easily identify which generation products to be used, to be sold and offer for your customers.
So thank you for listening. These are the devices for this year. So we will be selling these till, I don't know, next summer. And we still have plenty of time to remind you the differences. But from this clip, you definitely should have made your view what has changed and which device to offer for the customer. So again, thank you and stay tuned for the next series.